Alright, we are now officially live on the channel here. One sec, I'm trying to figure something out here. Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry. There. There, alright, we're live. Okay, just trying to wait for some more people to get into the stream here. Sorry, guys. Alright. Get this up. Alright, I'm gonna have this up as my thing. I'm trying to figure something out, guys. I wasn't really too ready for this. Alright. Racine, Wisconsin. Yeah. I'll check that out. Racine, Wisconsin. I'll have to have a Radar Omega for this into the future. Hello, Not Sleepy. Hello, Devin. And hello, Sore Weather. Yes, we are live right now. If I go to the Great Lakes region, you're kind of, I think Racine is, I'm going to pull up, never mind. I think Racine's like right over in this region right here. I'm kind of trying to use my cursor on it. Right over here. And stuff. And I'm going to have to pull something else up for this. Basically something called Radar Omega. Yep. Alright, Radar Omega. So if I pull up Radar Omega here, you're talking about Racine, Wisconsin. Racine, Wisconsin is actually in the slight risk of severe storms for tomorrow. You are in that slight risk of severe thunderstorms. That does include that region. So you do need to be weather aware for the slight risk. The enhanced line is really close to you. If you do look at your tornado thread there in Racine, you are in the 5% chance of tornadoes, so you could see a tornado or a tornado or two is possible kind of in that region. A weak isolated tornado could be possible. Main threat looks to be damaging winds from this. Yeah, definitely damaging wind threat looks to be your main risk, so just stay safe. I think you're more into the damaging wind risk out of anything, so yep. That's looking like it. If I kind of try to pull something up here, it's kind of cool what I'm trying to do. Alright, so let's do this, and then this is what it's going to look like. So we're going to use the 18Z HRRR model run here. So I'm going to see if anybody has any new questions first. You say south of Milwaukee. Yeah, I checked that out. I checked out Racine. Who's like Vinny? Thanks, Martin. Abelard on Martin. Thanks a lot. So we're going to basically get in depth in this. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask any questions you want to ask, because I will answer every question. It's literally every question that you guys have. I literally will answer every question. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'll answer them about like your area and if you could potentially get severe weather, and all of that I will cover for your region. All you have to do is just put in the chat your exact location, and I will put you down. He is, oh, that's cool. So you have 2 moderate risk areas that are in effect for today. One over here in the red zone, and another red zone over here. And this area is in the enhanced risk, which is the orange regions, which also does include a bunch of areas too. I'm going to try to change these settings here. Alright, so yeah, this is your basic region right here. I had to put the models on too for this. We have moderate risk of severe storms in effect. The tornado threat is also a 15% SIG risk. This does include areas like Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Davenport is also under the gun for this once again. Same kind of, it's a really similar kind of risk area under this, except it doesn't really include the Memphis areas down here. So it's like, it's shifted a little bit further to the west than it typically usually is. And so yeah, this is your 15 SIG area right here. And you have another 15 SIG area down here, which I feel like the northern 15, in my own opinion, the northern 15 SIG area is going to be the most dangerous area. Looking at most of the models, it seems like this is more in a capped environment than this area will be in. Yeah, I did get 10k views. It was a lot. And I'm in this. I'm in the 10 SIG. So I'll be paying attention to this. I think if the cap did break earlier, if it was more forecasted to break earlier in the day, it could have been way worse than it's forecasted to be. But, I mean, this is already looking not good. I mean, like, we have some very strong SIG tornado parameters into the nighttime hours. And this is going to be a really, like, nighttime type setup here. This could occur, this could hit, like, most of the major risk areas at, like, 2 a.m., dude. So, like, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big timing right here. We have very strong SIG tornado parameters, potentially off the charts over here. This one goes a little bit further, but it's really high. It's almost off the charts in these regions. This is extremely concerning type thing. And what we're really talking about is a line of storms to move through. So if we do have any storms try to form around the 2 p.m. models, which this model does not show when that's going to happen, dude. But if we do have any storms that form between 2 to 4 p.m., then that could definitely have a risk for strong tornadoes. The HRRR model run wants there to be some potential for large tornadoes. And it really depends right now. This is if you look at this is your whole trough area down here. And it does show the potential for supercellular thunderstorms to go. It's going, these storms some of them will go to the northeast and some of them will go straight to the east. If any supercells form, they'd be going straight to the northeast, and if a line of storms forms, it'll be heading to the east. So yeah, we'll definitely be concerned about this around 4 p.m. hours if we do get these supercells to form and try to break the cap over here in Iowa and Illinois. It's basically more southeast Iowa into northwest Illinois. Then that could definitely have a definite tornado threat. I'm gonna pay attention to this. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this because I'm concerned. We have strong dew points into the 60s, almost to 70-degree dew points. And we have tons of CAPE to support thunderstorms. Like, look, oh my god, 4,500 CAPE in portions of Iowa. And, yeah, that's definitely not a good thing at all. That's definitely concerning. If we look at the significant tornado parameters here, on the other hand, we have some strong parameters. It's not extremely significant. This model wants it to be more significant at nighttime hours, which could have nighttime significant tornadoes, but we could definitely have supercellular thunderstorms that could produce tornadoes down here. That's definitely possible. We're definitely concerned about this potentially. And if you look at the 850 millibar winds, it's it's not anything really significant. It's not crazy. So I think the environment for significant tornadoes, if any of these supercells form, could be decent, but it's not going to be as significant as the chance of the tornadoes of supercells form at night because of this cap that is potentially ongoing. Good thing it's happening during the night? No, it's actually no, really, not really. It would be worse at night. I'm really concerned that it's at night. And I just realized that I put the wrong picture for Weather Bell on the thing. I put the wrong picture. It's actually the 10 sig reaches all the way up to St. Louis. And I put a picture with the 5% only reaching St. Louis and not a 15 sig down there in Arkansas. I'm sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I put that picture, but it'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I think if you look at the lower jet, it really starts to crank at nighttime hours. This model wants it to crank even less down here. This is why I wasn't really considered for a 15 sig down here. I think it should say 10 sig down here. And the higher threat area, in my own opinion, seems to be over in these regions right here. Kind of all the way up to here. These regions right here have my highest tornado risk right here. Because of the fact that the 850 millibar winds, the significant tornado parameters are all really high with this. And we have definite supercells forming. These supercells could form and definitely have a tornado threat over here. And then we have our advancing line of storms that forms. This is around 1 a.m. on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And we had this strong line of storms starting to form down over here into portions of Missouri. And this could produce tornadoes. This could produce definite tornadoes with the line here. So we have some very strong, significant tornado parameters. And if we look at our low-level jet, those cranking winds up in the atmosphere here, it's very strong with the 75 miles an hour winds up in that atmosphere, very high up, like thousands of feet up in the air from the sky, not at the bottom. It's not that the winds aren't that strong down there, but they're not that strong down here. Definitely not. If you look at our SIN, see it's a lot less over into the overnight hours, and if we look more into the 4 p.m. hours, we have a very strong cap. Very strong cap. So that's definitely what we're really looking at here is a strong cap that's forecasted to break over in the future. Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely an advancing line. It looks like around 5 a.m. this thing could start to break up into supercells. With supercells, it could I think our highest chance for strong winds will occur in this region over here. And our strongest risk for supercells with tornadoes will occur in this risk over here. I'm talking about the southern mode. Because of the fact that it looks like it breaks down into supercells in the future, and that's what we are potentially concerned about. Alright, if anybody has any questions, I will answer them here. I'm always paying attention to the chat. I answer questions very often. Alright, so yeah, if anybody has any questions, I will answer them here. Make sure to share to your family and friends so they are well aware for this threat here. Alright. This is kind of putting it into a 3D type look. It kind of looks cool. This is the cool thing about the Radar Omega, is it can look like this. It's a really cool look. Definitely it's a really awesome looking thing. If we look at the trough here, I wanted to show you guys the trough. That's really cool. That's wild. That how cool it looks to just show it on the big picture. I don't know why it looks cool. It's dangerous though. This is a crazy trough. That kind of, it stays neutrally till it changes from positively tilted, then turns neutrally tilted, then changes over to that negatively tilted trough. And that's yeah, it's pretty crazy indeed. Alright, we've only been live for 16 minutes, man. It feels like I've been live for a lot longer than 16 minutes. This is going to be a very, very short live stream since I wasn't really planning to be live for long at all. I wanted to mention that the reason I said it would be worse at night is because people aren't awake. People are asleep. So there's sore weather. I forgot to kind of finish your question. Let's go back to the dark presentation over here, and we go over to here. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Kind of surprising that we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now, but we do, and it's because there's a very strong cap over here. If there wasn't a cap, we would have a high risk area. In my own opinion, we would definitely have a high risk area if we didn't have this cap down here. And that's why it's only keeping a marginal risk. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. So if anybody's in Hamilton and Hicko over towards Cranfill's Gap, there is a severe thunderstorm warning with 1.25 inch hail active. It is in the yellow regions. And this includes Hamilton, Hicko, and Cranfill's Gap all in this right in here. So this is why we're concerned about, because there is this hail core part of the supercell that we're seeing over here near Schoolerville, that it is definitely producing hail up to quarter size across this region here. So this is what we're concerned about, is potential large hail that is being produced across in this region. Definitely concerned about something a little off topic, because we're supposed to be talking about tomorrow's threat, not today's threat. But I just wanted to mention that for a second. So any newcomers coming in, stay with us for tomorrow's. We do have a 15 significant chance for a moderate risk of severe weather for tomorrow. So does include in the moderate risk enhancer studies, any areas that could have strong tornadoes. From this include Little Rock, Fort Smith, Springfield, Fayetteville, all the way over towards St. Louis, Missouri, into Quincy, Illinois, in Hannibal, Missouri, all the way up towards Davenport, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Waterloo, Dubuque, Galesburg, and more regions potentially in this threat, all the way down to Texarkana. All needs to be weather aware for this potential threat into the future, guys. So this is what we're concerned about. So it's another bimodal risk area. So yeah, this is what we are concerned about here. So stay safe, guys. So yeah, those are all the regions that do need to be weather aware for this. Even in the 5% regions for tornadoes, still need to be kind of weather aware for this threat. This does include areas like Kansas City, all the way down towards Tyler, Little Rock. Like in the 5% regions include Springfield, Bloomington, Madison, Milwaukee, Racine, Des Moines, and Kansas City. All need to be weather aware for tornadoes potential. It does get less into the brown areas, and we're much more concerned about the yellow and red areas for large tornadoes potentially. That's what we are concerned about here. Not just that, we do have a. I did mention that we do have an area for significant chance of winds, a 30% chance of wind in this region. I do believe that it could. Some of the models agree with it kind of breaking off into a supercellular mode, kind of a broken line of storms, producing tornadoes over here. Which this is for the southern mode. This is, I think, this area right here. It's kind of my most concerned region for tornadoes. And then for the northern mode, I'm really concerned about this region for tornadoes over here. And for damaging winds, my most concerned region does kind of include this area over here for strong damaging winds. I could be wrong. This is my own prediction. Because if we do look at some of the models, this is just from looking at the models. It could change. The models aren't always 100% right. But if we do look into the overnight hours, you can see the strong line of storms down here. And that's where we have our strongest wind threat. I think it does start to break off right when it gets to around St. Louis. So, more like in the strongest damaging wind risk, in my opinion, more like this region over here has the strongest threat for damaging winds. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they issued a SIG area for damaging winds into the future, where strong damaging winds could get to 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour potentially. For the hail risk, it's kind of like an area up here, and hail potentially within the line. But I'm not really as concerned of hail, but there definitely is a hail risk. Up there in Racine, where Devin was talking about, you have an isolated chance of hail. It's a slight risk of hail, but that's not really something really crazy to be concerned about. So yep. Can I check Ohio? Yeah. What area in Ohio? I need to kind of know this specific area in Ohio. Specific areas in Ohio, all of Ohio. For tomorrow's risk, all of Ohio is in the risk area. All of Ohio is in a slight risk of severe weather for day 3. That's a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. If you look at the probabilistic outlook, in the significant chance for damaging anything, it could be wind, hail. Columbus is in that SIG chance, so you could get significant winds or significant hail all outlined in this region. Yeah, it's sore weather, that's dead. That saying is dead. Like in a tornado warning. Well, the tornado threat doesn't really seem to be what I'm most concerned about for this threat. Basically, and yeah, we're not as concerned for this threat down there in Ohio for damaging for tornadoes potentially. I think it's more of a risk on day 2. A tornado watch that isn't out of the question, but I think the more risk would just be damaging winds right now. For this risk, I think your main chance in Columbus, Ohio would be really damaging winds. So if we do look at the models here, I will go to the NAM 3 kilometer because it kind of gets out to this pretty far. It shows a main chance being around 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., those type of timing. The NAM 3 kilometer doesn't show very strong. Sore weather, yeah. And some definite potential for that stuff. I mean, it's definitely not a day where I think it's going to be really crazy. nothing like that at all. If we go to the 18Z at Triple R model run, it's kind of a little bit more significant, showing some storms. It's kind of just clusters of storms. I mean, the timing is kind of crazy with this whole thing. Take this lightly. No, take this slightly seriously because you are in a slight risk. But, just take it for, like, not really the craziest storm measures. Be careful and be weather aware for a tornado or two possible. But I think what you really need to be weather aware the most is the main threat for damaging winds down there in Columbus, Ohio. So I hope that answers your question there. Still very concerned about this moderate risk. I'm going to read the discussion. I forgot to ever read this discussion. It says a large area of severe potential from the plains into Missouri. Strong tornadoes and particularly damaging winds are expected. That's some pretty intense wording, definitely. It says both afternoon and overnight potential will exist across various regions. Include include the risk of dangerous nighttime tornadoes. That's some crazy wording right there. Dangerous nighttime tornadoes. We could be seeing strong tornadoes at nighttime on tomorrow. I don't think this is going to qualify to a high risk. I mean, high risk is just extremely rare. I don't know. This was like so rare for us that we even had a high risk that day. I'm thinking it's going to stay moderate. Moderate risk has been introduced. There's a strong tornado, a long track tornado can't be ruled out. This appears to be a rare case where the front may act more like a dry line. Capping is most likely to limit the eastward extent of the threat for southern areas near Louisiana. Yeah, the capping is kind of going to prevent severe weather risks for, like, Louisiana down there. So that's pretty intense wording of strong nighttime tornadoes. Anywhere in the, we're going to change the tornado threat since the normal SPC outlook just shows all of it combined. And anywhere in the yellow and red regions over here, yeah. Yeah, well, your dreams, it can come true. It can. Definitely. Because if we look right here, this is the two areas, and the yellow and the red areas. Both of those areas in the yellow and the red need to be extremely weather aware for nighttime tornadoes. So if anybody's in these regions, Little Rock, all the way up towards... Oh, were you talking about for a while ago, the J kid? Something like that. Okay. I guess not. Sore weather. I guess you said that your friend was not sleepy. Well, I guess that he acts different on streams than he actually acts. If you're saying he acts kind of crazy too. See, any of these regions need to be prepared for nighttime tornadoes. Fayetteville, Springfield, Little Rock, all the way down towards Texarkana, all the way up north towards St. Louis needs to all be weather aware. 10 sig, I'm in the 10 sig, and then all the way up to the 15 sig and the 10 sig regions. If you're in Peoria, Hannibal, Quincy, Kirksville, all the way up towards Ottawa, Mount Pleasant, Galesburg, Davenport, all the way over towards Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, and Dubuque, all needs to be weather aware. Maybe weather. Hello, Chris. They live in Little Rock. Yes, warn them. Warn them, definitely. Because they need to be weather aware for potential for tornadoes at night. Will Kentucky get hit bad? I'll tell you about that in a second. But all these regions in St. Louis and all those regions over there in Cedar Rapids, Davenport too, need to be weather aware. Because of the fact that there is chance for nighttime tornadoes, and they need to have their alerts. He said, "You hope we see storms in the northeast, north thunderstorms." Doubt it, but we hope. Yeah, it's a little far out for me to go into detail for right now, but I'll tell you about that maybe tomorrow if I can. See, it depends what happens. So yeah. You see, will Kentucky get hit bad? All right, now I will go to that question of yours. So it really depends if you're where you're at in Kentucky. That's what I always try to say. When people ask me the whole full state, they can't really tell me because severe weather can be different throughout the whole state. A lot of Kentucky could definitely potentially get severe weather. Especially more likely if you're in Paducah, Elizabethtown, Lexington, into Bowling Green, and Louisville has a higher chance to see severe weather because they are in a slight risk. Remember, this is only a 2 out of 5 region. So, basically in that region, Jack, if you're in Paducah, Hopkinsville, Bowling Green, Madisonville, Glasgow, Campbellsville, Louisville, all the way up towards Lexington, basically, if you're in any of these regions over here in Kentucky, you need to be weather aware for an isolated tornado, and mostly the main threat out here is what I'm really concerned about is damaging winds expected across this region, a damaging wind threat. And if you're down over here, and if you're down towards like Pikeville, London, and Corbin, which it's kind of a less populated region over here, if you're in this region over here, yeah, what about tornadoes? Isolated tornado. Isolated tornado expected. It's day 3, so it's not really where you can really get into detail on the big tornado threat since it's day 3. But once you get to day 2, it'll tell you the actual probabilities for a potential tornado. But yeah. But if you're in this region, your chance of tornadoes is really low, and it would just be a weak damaging wind chance. Okay, sore weather. So, is that flood the green? The green means a marginal risk of severe weather. Do I think there will be a tornado? I never think there will be a tornado. Even in the 15 sig area, even in the moderate risk, it doesn't mean you're going to get hit by a tornado. Any chance of tornadoes you're ever in, it's more likely you won't get a tornado, but you always have to be weather aware for the chance, because if it does hit, then it's bad, obviously. And I think it's kind of just be kind of weather aware, just know what's happening, just know what's happening, and just, always know what's happening down there. Sorry, Jay, I don't know what you're saying. He's always on my streams, dude, but I can't really reply to him. Like, he puts a bunch of stuff. I'm surprised he even enjoys my streams when you can't even hear what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I really don't get it. No, I should make a Blaze Weather Spanish channel. And it's all just me Google translating literally everything. Like not even being able to know how to say anything because I'm just using Google Translate the whole time. And it takes, someone's like, pork un chico or something, which is, and stuff. And then there's like, and I have to like translate stuff. And I'm like, and someone's asking a question. I'm like, 1 sec. Alright, and then I'm like, this is, so I gotta find Google Translate to even answer what they're saying. Yeah, it's kind of funny. No, you're fine, not sleepy. All the stuff he says, I can't really get it. I can't really reply to him. He probably needs to try his best to find a Spanish severe weather channel or something. It probably exists. I seriously wouldn't be surprised if there was such a thing as a Spanish severe weather channel. I wouldn't be surprised, at least, if that did exist. You took Spanish class, but you're not fluent. I take Spanish class, too. I'm taking it right now, and I'm not fluent either. Yeah, I can't understand that either. Bro, what? Okay, not sleepy. Don't really get that. Should he be scared? No, never be scared. Always just be prepared. It's not an extreme risk, really. Your risk is not that high. I think your main risk is just isolated damaging winds. I don't like to scare anybody. I just be prepared, you know. If it doesn't happen, remember, it doesn't mean you're going to get severe weather. I mean, this doesn't mean anything that you're going to get severe weather, you know. You might not get severe weather. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, sore weather. Well, I'm never going to get what you're saying if you speak Polish. I never will get what you're saying. I mean, this is a huge risk area for day 3. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they issued a random enhanced risk region for damaging winds, mostly. And just Jack, be on the channel and be weather aware for the future. I mean, this is just a huge area that could get severe weather. All the way down to Shreveport, Alexandria, Monroe, all the way up to Little Rock, Memphis, Nashville, Evansville, Louisville, Lexington, Paducah, Evansville, Indiana, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, all the way up to Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Chicago, South Bend, Fort Wayne, all the way up towards Detroit, all the way up to Traverse City, that far north, the Traverse City, North Michigan, dude, North Michigan could get severe weather. This is how much moisture is going to be kicking up in the air, getting very far north. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if southern portions of Ontario here get severe weather, like Toronto, Hamilton, London. Those areas in Canada all need to be weather aware for potential for isolated severe weather. Did I say tornadoes? I think I meant to say severe weather. Yes, I want them to be weather aware. Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, it goes all the way up to Buffalo and Rochester, all the way in that risk area. It's all in that. You do see some green and yellow in Massachusetts. Is that anything important? Massachusetts. Well, look at that. The models don't even get far enough out to where I can look at that. So that's where I have to use a, where we would have to use a kind of a long-range model run. The long-range model run kind of shows you onto the 6th. I'm looking at it. Yeah. I'm not concerned about a severe weather situation. Well, there is actually some moisture, and the Cape is low, but it is isolated there. It's like 500 Cape, dude. What am I showing? I showed Connecticut, not. Oh my God, I'm not showing Connecticut. I forgot you're not in Connecticut. I forgot you're in Massachusetts, Springfield, down here, right? Yeah, down here. This, yeah, down there. It looks like not really. I mean, this is a long range model, so we'd really be able to tell you if there's anything to be concerned about. That would be by mostly to like maybe even day 2, maybe even 2 days from today. Actually, no. Yeah, 2 days from today would be our highest chance to where we would know what's gonna happen. But I do think there could be some thunderstorms, but I don't think severe weather will be the main risk. I will be anytime there's bad weather. Okay. Okay, Jack. Thursday evening. Yeah. Then Wednesday, you'd have to be prepared, like, to see if anything could happen. I think we get our most detail by Wednesday. Maybe even tomorrow, maybe. So, 75 Thursday. Dang, that's pretty warm. Definitely for this time of year. I mean, it's going to be extremely warm for a lot of the U.S. I mean, my area could get up to 84. This whole region here is going to get some extremely warm temperatures. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if portions of Iowa get into the upper 70s. It's pretty crazy. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning down here. Ooh, that is producing some huge hail. They should extend that and put it up to ping pong ball size. This is some strong hail in a ferry. And Cranfield's Gap all the over towards Meridian in the future. Alright guys, well I've been live for about 40 minutes here. So we are going to wrap up this stream now. I think I've mentioned really most of the stuff that's going to occur for this event. I'm sorry to those 13 viewers that are watching right now. Be sure to check out the next stream I have. I don't know if I'll be able to cover this live because of the fact that it's going to be a big nocturnal threat at nighttime, and I'm really sorry about that, but that might be the case. I wanted to mention that they extended it towards Glen Rose Meridian. Stay safe there for 2.50 inch hail. They didn't upgraded that. They upgraded the tennis ball sized hail up to baseball. So tennis balls, dude, that's some very strong hail down there. So yeah, I might not be able to go live. That's also why I'm doing these briefings to make sure people are well aware, as it's going to be a big nocturnal nighttime threat. Alright, see you, Mr. Grinch. See ya. Yeah, I hope everybody did enjoy this stream. To those viewers, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so your weather when severe weather hits. I try to go live as much as I can. The only time I really can't go live is those nighttime threats always prevent me from going live. So I'm sorry about that, but it happens sometimes. So yeah. Yeah, guys. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I had a long day at school, dude. Alright, bye, Jack. Thanks, sore weather. Wait.